Hi guys, welcome to another video with Gaby. And I'm Gaby, and this is Pilates with Gaby. We're going to start off on our mat in this video, and we're going to do a little bit of shoulder mobility and strengthening and hip opening. So if you come into your rest position, so swiveling around on that mat, sit back into those heels and just stretching those arms a minute. And again, I just like to almost sort of walk one arm a little bit up and then the other, and just get a little bit of a sort of sway through that body a little bit to feel the sides opening up. And then bringing the arms back down on the mat. Let's slide up into our 4-point. So let's just have a little play with transferring that weight through our body. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And just slide forwards and back. So you can feel that weight coming over the wrists and then back. And just feel that flexion in the hips. So sliding forwards and back. Try and keep the arms long. So again, there's a sort of awareness of your shoulders here. So as I'm sitting back, I can feel the shoulders slide up to the ears. As I slide forwards, the shoulders sort of slide down onto the ribs. Just being aware of that movement. And then bringing yourself back into that center position. I'm going to swivel around, but you stay where you are. But I'm going to swivel around here. So I'm looking at you so you can see the movement in the legs here. So I've got the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and I'm going to extend that left leg. That's it, and I can feel already that stretch down the inside of my thigh there. And then with that left arm, stretch that left arm up towards the ceiling. Feel that push through that supporting right arm. And then as I sweep that left arm through that right, bring it up almost as if you're going to hug yourself. So if I brought that arm around to hug myself, I can feel that I'm sort of sending that arm up towards the ceiling. And then again, inhale, stretch up, exhale. And I can feel that lovely stretch on that inner thigh. And again, inhale, and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. So getting that movement around in the top of the body there, that rotation, that stretch in the inner thigh and the hip. One more. Stretch wide, exhale. Threading through up to that ceiling and then bringing that arm down onto the mat. Slide that knee under. If you need to take a little sit back, then do into the heels. And then if you're ready, let's go on to that other side. So bringing the hands back underneath. I'm going to scoot over this way a bit. Extend that right leg. And again, stretching that right arm up. Breathe in. And exhale. Breathe in. And exhale. I can really feel like as I'm in that rotation, I push into that foot a little bit more. I can feel that stretch on my inner thigh. And again, inhale and exhale. And exhale. I'm going to do one more. And I can feel that spiraling in my spine. Bringing the hands back down onto the mat, slide that knee back under. I'm going to bring myself back onto that side position and then just stretch back into your heels. Breathing in and out. Slide the hands towards the knees, bringing yourself up. So through each move that we're doing in Pilates, we're just bringing ourselves and giving ourselves a little bit more space to move without tension. That's all you're doing through each move. So have that awareness when you're doing your moves. That's all you're trying to create, is an ease in your body to be able to enjoy the day and do the things you want to do. So we're going to come with our legs crossed in front. And if you need to sit on a cushion, then do, so you can feel you're upright in that spine. If you need to sit on a chair so you're not tighten the hips, then sit on a chair and you can still do those arm movements. So we're going to get some movement in the arms and the trunk of the body. So I'm going to stretch my arms up. So already I'm feeling that stretch down the sides of my body there. I'm almost like if someone was stretching my arms, I'm trying to stay heavy in the pelvis to keep me grounded here so I can open up that middle of my body. And then I just want you to rotate to the right and then exhale back. Rotate to the left and exhale back. So here, if we're having that awareness of the shoulders at the moment, these shoulders are sort of stretched up to the ears, so that means that the muscles that attach the shoulders are being stretched up. So it means the side of the body is already stretched, and then I'm going into that rotation. So I'm asking more of that body while those sides of the body are stretched as I'm rotating. Keep the pelvis balanced and even keep that belly button sort of looking forward. So the movement really comes from that circling around of the ribs. And then bring yourself back to that center position. Bring the arms down and float up. Inhale, shoulders lift. Exhale as the ribs narrow, I drop the shoulders down. Inhale, push out those ribs. Exhale as I empty the lungs and the ribs narrow. The muscles around those ribs pull in and I can drop the shoulders down. And again, up and down. Move with the breath. If you start to become aware of when you're breathing and what the muscles are doing, you can start to move in the right way to make it easier. So when I'm inhaling, I'm just allowing that breath to almost push the shoulders up. And when I'm exhaling, the muscles drawing around here as I narrow in the rib cage pulls and draws the shoulders down. So it's easier. And exhale. Really good. Just open up the arm. Just go into a little side bend. Just tilt over, just so the hand find the mat, and then back up. And go over to the other side. So again here, I'm keeping the bottom connected to the mat, and I'm just allowing a lovely little movement in the sides of your body as you go from one side to the other. And how does that feel? And back up again. And one more. And then coming all the way back, dropping those arms down. I'm just going to use the band. So if you haven't got a band, you can still do this movement. The band just gives you a little bit more feedback and it gets the muscles a bit more active, but you know, you can still do it without the band. So arms in front, holding onto that band. Rotate to the right. Pull the elbows back so that band comes towards the chest. Now stretch out that right arm, stretching it away from you. Release, extend the arms, rotate back to center, go straight round to the left. Pelvis staying still, pull the elbows towards you, extend that left arm. Release, forwards and back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and keep going. Stretch out, open that front all the way to the fingertips, rotate, pull in, extend, release, arms long again, back to center, one more each side, rotate, really feel that rib cage floating around that spine, and then back to center, rib cage floating around the spine to bring you to that left. And then once you've done this last one, just bringing yourself back to center and drop those arms down. We're going to continue just activating a little bit of the muscles around the tops of the arms and the shoulders. You're going to come over onto your side. Again, you may want a pillow or a cushion underneath your head. So I'm on my right side. I've got the band being held underneath me with the arm underneath there. And that's sort of my anchor. And it's about this top arm that I'm going to be moving. So we're going to get into the rotator cuff muscles here first. You're just going to soften the elbow down onto your waist. And then I just want you to move that forearm. So if I rotate that forearm up, I pull on the band and then I release. And again, rotate up and release. But what I want to do is keep the top of the arm connected to the side of the body. So don't allow that elbow to lift up like this. So keep that top of the arm connected to that waist. So just use the forearm rotating and back. And you can feel it really starting to work into that muscle there, into those muscles. And back. 2 more. And back. 1 more. And back. Right, extend the arm long. And you're going to draw the arm all the way up in alignment with the shoulder. Now feel the shoulder blades sort of drop down to the spine. And then as you bring the arm long in front, you feel the shoulder blade widen from the spine. And again, arm up, feel the shoulder blade drop down to the spine. And then as you open the arm, feel the shoulder stretch round the ribs. And again, arm up, shoulder connect down to the spine. And then arm forwards. Breathe in. And again. 1 more. Right, with this arm coming up this time, you're going to hold. And I'm going to pull that arm down on the exhale. Inhale, draw the arm up. Exhale, draw the arm down. Inhale. Exhale, again, move with that breath. Inhale, shoulder sliding up as the arm comes up. Exhale, shoulder draws down. Inhale, exhale. Oh, and I can really feel that drawing down of the muscles to bring that shoulder down. So that feels really good. Exhale, feel like you'll even initiate the movement from that sort of drawing in of the ribs here to pull that shoulder down. So if you were doing a button up on a jacket here, that's sort of pulling in and fastening in the front there to draw that shoulder down. Have a go with that sort of sense of connection there. Right, once you've done that last one, we've got the other side to do. So bringing yourself up, swivel yourself round. And again, you can do this without a band if you haven't got a band. Obviously the band gives you a little bit more strengthening in the arms. So again, get comfortable on your side. You've got that arm underneath to hold that band. Top arm is going to be resting into the waist, then we're going to get into that rotator cuff muscle. So pull that forearm up and then release. So this is a lot harder. I can feel the muscles a lot less active on this side. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Two more. And one more. Right, getting that arm long. Stretch it in front. Let's get that big movement. Sweeping the arm up. Drop that shoulder down into that spine and then feel the shoulder blade widen. And again, arm up. And then widen. Arm up. And widen. So really get that awareness of trying to sink that shoulder blade down to that spine and then feel it opening up. Right, we're going to draw that arm down, arm coming up, and then pull that arm down on the exhale. Inhale, exhale. Narrow those ribs. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more. One more. And then just bringing those arms in front. Really good. We're going to stay on our side, but we're going to do a little bit in the legs. So just bring yourself up to get your band and tie it in a loop. It's going to go around those ankles there. We're going to go down onto your side and just get comfortable. I'm going to get my head resting on that arm underneath, legs long in front. Again, that balance on that pelvis that's on the mat. Arm in front for a bit of balance. And just use that band to stretch into. So as I stretch that top leg out, I can really feel all the muscles on the outside of that leg activated there, and lower. Lift and lower. In fact, I sort of switch off the foot. The foot is relaxed and I'm really sort of pushing up from up in the thighs there. And release. Three more. And then last one. Right, holding there. Can you elevate both the legs? That's it. And push out into that band. Now keep that gap there. Point through the toes and lower and lift. Keeping that gap. And 2. And 3. And 4. 5. 6. 7. Keep the balance. And 8, lower the legs, drop that top leg. So keeping the legs apart, lifted, and then you're going to pulse that top leg. So open the legs, elevate both the legs, point through the toes and push up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and lower those legs. Oh, really feeling that there. Got one more move. We're going to scissor those legs. So you're going to bring the legs up. Elevate, hold there. Now pull that bottom leg forwards, top leg behind, and swap. And swap. So again, I need to keep balance through the pelvis here as I'm moving through the legs and the hips. And again, swap, 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 swap. Breathe. One more. Lowering those legs all the way back down. Really good. Let's do that other side. So bring yourself up and then over to the other side. Start to move. So again, arm nice and long. Balanced on that pelvis there. Legs together. Zip up. Tailbone long, stacked in that pelvis, and just start that movement. Push up into that band and then release. Two more. Right, are we ready for that lift? So you're going to push that top leg up and then elevate that bottom leg. So again, what's it feel like on this side? If you point through those toes and then lower and lift, keeping that separation of the legs, lower and lift. So it's almost like both legs are sort of pushing to the band on either side. Lift and lower, lift and lower. One more and lower. Right, we're going to do that pulsing now. So top leg up, lift, holding there and pulse. 1, 2, 3. So pushing the top leg into that band. 5, 6, 7 and 8 and lower. Right, we're ready for that scissor move. So elevating that top leg, elevate both legs. Pull the bottom leg forwards, top leg behind, and swap, and swap, and swap, and swap. 4 more. And that's it. And then bringing those legs down. Whew. When you're ready, bring yourself all the way up onto your bottom. Just take that band out from around the feet there. And actually undo the bands because we're going to use it again in a moment. But we want it long. So just place that to one side. Right, let's do a little spine stretch forwards here. So you're going to have your legs as wide as the mat. And again, if you need to sit on a little cushion there just to bring you upright, then do. And actually, if you're feeling it really tight under the legs, just bring the knees up a little bit like that if you need to. So hands are going to come down in front of you in alignment with the knees, and then just drop the chin down to look to the knees, but still feel that sort of lift up through those abdominals. And then as if you were rolling out some dough, with the hands just roll and slide those arms long in between those legs to the end of the mat, then hold. So just resting there. Now it's very easy here to really overly stretch with the arms and the shoulders here. What I want you to try and feel is that what you're stretching through is really through this back first, through this middle bit here. And then you get to a point where you can't get any more further. So then if you want to, you can allow the arms to stretch a little bit further, bringing the shoulders with them. Feel the shoulders slide down on the ribs, draw the navel to spine and rolling back. So really being aware of where are you stretching from to start off with. It's very easy, like I said, to go straight through into those shoulders, but try and keep them down for as long as possible and try and really open up through this section here. So again, hands on the mat, look down to the knees and slide those arms along the floor towards the end of the mat, stretching out through that back. And then increasing that stretch a little bit more with the stretch of the arms and the shoulders. And so breathe in. And then exhale, sliding the hands towards you, rolling all the way up. And again, drop the chin down and stretch. And exhale back. So some of you will be really feeling the tightness in the legs. And that will be what's stopping you from gaining any more stretch in that spine. Stretch, 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 and then rolling back. Really good. We're going to do a little rotation here. So I'm going to bring my body this way so you can see the movement a little bit easier. So you're going to have your legs, again, as wide as that mat, arms nice and wide. And you're going to rotate to the right and then rotate to that left. And rotate, and rotate. And just getting that little movement in that rib cage going from one side to the other. Keep the pelvis still. So if you're starting to feel the legs move, then that means your pelvis is moving. We want the pelvis to stay really still and the movement to come from that rib cage moving around to create that change in your upper back. And then back to center and bring those arms down. Bring the shoulders up and roll them back. You're going to get your ball. I'm just going to do a little movement in the shoulders here. So you're going to have the ball right between your shoulder blades, or again a cushion, and melt over that ball. Stretch your legs long. Super glue them together. Take the arms behind. Again, when I've got my arms stretched behind, the shoulder blades are sort of melting down towards that ball. They're drawing inwards towards the body, towards that ball. As I start to circle the arms around, the shoulder blades start to draw down the ribs. And then when I bring the arms over the chest, the shoulder blades widen from that spine. So I take the arms behind, the shoulder blades sink inwards towards the spine. Draw down the ribs and then widen across the back. So again, you're getting a different place for those shoulders to try and get into as you circle those arms around. So where do those shoulders feel okay to go? Where does that crunchiness come in? Where does that resistance or limit in your movement start to happen? In which range? And then once you are aware of that, you start to understand you and your body and how and where it's moving from at this point and what you need to work on to get an even balance of movement through the body. Because we want to be able to circle those shoulders without any real tension or resistance into all of those different ranges around on the ribs. Right, when we do this next one, I'm going to roll up. So with the arms, I'm going to stretch them behind me. As I bring the arms over the chest, those shoulders start to draw down the back and they widen, shoulder blades widen. Once the shoulders have drawn down the back, I can connect these serratus anterior muscles in. And then I can thread and continue that drawing in of my transverse abdominals right into that center. Once I've got that sort of zipping up and connection there, almost like a corset, I can then start to use those muscles to push the ribs down to bring me up into that chest lift. Then when I'm up in that chest lift, I can connect into those upper abdominals to continue to lift the weight of the body up. So you see how what the importance is of where your shoulder blades are. If I've always got my shoulders up to the ears, I'm never going to be able to get that melting in and that knitting together of these muscles around that waist there, around the ribs. Again, it's the same for when you're rolling back down. The shoulder blades need to be soft down on the ribs so I can use those center muscles to guide me down and not my shoulders. Shoulders aren't needed here. And again, arms over the chest, shoulders drop down onto the ribs, ribs melt inwards towards the body. Once they're in the body, they can start to tilt the pelvis. Not the pelvis, the ribs. And then you can connect in those abdominal muscles to bring the weight of the body up. Stretch forwards towards your toes, coming up and then rolling back. Tilt and tuck the tailbone under, rolling into that lower back. Find that ball or that cushion, stretching over. And again, arms over the chest. Exhale. And you suddenly notice how much easier that movement can now be. How much more relaxed in that body. Like I just feel like there's no tension at all in the rest of my body. It's just really that whole center unit working. The arms are relaxed, shoulders relaxed, legs relaxed, and all of that movement is coming from this section here. And then rolling up. And rolling all the way back down. Brilliant. And then on this last one to roll up. And exhale. And then bringing yourself up into that sitting position. Really good. Let's just come into our rest position here for a minute. Sit back into your heels, relax the head down. And let's just do a nice movement here into that extension. So arms as wide as the mat. And again, this movement is about mobility in those shoulders to allow the body to slide through and lengthen up. So as I curl up into that rounded back, I already start to feel, right, the shoulder blades are here. As I'm bringing the body forwards, the shoulders are starting to draw down onto my ribs. And then I pull through those arms, hips release forward, shoulder blades are now on the ribs, and I lift up through that chest, through the arms. Shoulder blades down on the ribs, knit together around the front of the ribs. Tuck the chin down. And again, as I start to allow the shoulder blades to open wide, the spine pulls back. And sits back towards those heels. And again, breathing in. Slide through those arms. Notice the mobility in your shoulders to allow the spine to pull through those arms and up. Drop the chin, rolling back. And again, coming all the way up. Slide through the arms, lifting up, shine that heart forwards, breathe in. And exhale. Brilliant. Once you've done that last one, just rest. Rest the head, rest the arms, rest the body. Nestle down in towards your thighs. Breathe in. Breathe out. The hands towards your knees and bring yourself up. Just bring your hands down and just tuck the toes under and sit back into those heels for a minute. And then just spring forwards and back. Just get a little stretch through the soles of the feet. Feeling the knuckles and the joints in the toes, getting a little bit of a stretch. The fascia tissue in the sole of the foot opening up. And then just sit back into the heels, walk the hands towards the knees, and then slowly rolling those heels onto the floor, lift the bottom up. Holding here, breathe in. Exhale, scoop in the belly, drop the tailbone down, roll up through your spine. Breathe in, and exhale, releasing out. And then roll back down again. Take a breath in, and then exhale, rolling all the way back up. Hips open, spine nice and tall, shoulders relaxed. Just take a breath in, and exhale out. And there we go. Thank you very much for joining me again with another Pilates video.